It was a gloomy autumn evening when I found myself wandering through the depths of the dense forest. The towering trees swayed in the cool breeze, and their long twisted branches cast eerie shadows on the forest floor. As I ventured further into the heart of the woods, an unsettling feeling crept over me like a weight on my chest. Suddenly I heard a rustling sound, as if something large was moving through the underbrush. My heart raced as I turned to face the source of the noise, and that's when I saw it. The creature that would forever haunt my nightmares. Standing at least 8 feet tall, the monster emerged from the shadows with glowing eyes that pierced through the darkness. Its body was covered in matted fur, and its hulking frame was reminiscent of a bear, but much more grotesque and terrifying. Its claws were long and razor-sharp, glinting ominously in the dim light. I was frozen in fear as the creature locked its gaze upon me. Its eyes held a primal intelligence, filled with a mix of curiosity and hunger. It let out a low, guttural growl that reverberated through the air, sending shivers down my spine. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but my legs refused to move. As the creature approached, I noticed its distorted face, a twisted fusion of human and animal features. Its mouth revealed rows of jagged teeth, stained with what I hoped was not blood. The stench that emanated from its hulking figure was putrid, a mixture of rotting vegetation and decaying flesh. Summoning all the courage I had left, I managed to find my voice. What are you?" I stammered, my words barely audible in the stillness of the forest. The creature tilted its head, seemingly intrigued by my question. Its voice was a low, rumbling growl, filled with a strange mix of anger and sadness.
"I am the guardian of these woods,"
it replied, its words carrying an otherworldly resonance.
"For centuries I have watched over this realm, protecting it from those who seek to exploit its power."
I could hardly comprehend its words, but I sensed a profound sadness in its tone. It seemed burdened by the weight of its duty, condemned to an existence of solitude and fear. "But why do you appear so monstrous?" I asked, my voice trembling. The creature's eyes softened, as if reflecting a deep sorrow.
"Long ago I was like any other being, a man with dreams and aspirations. But through a twist of fate, I became fused with the very essence of the forest. This form is a reflection of my inner turmoil, a constant reminder of the price I paid to protect this land."
As I listened to its haunting tale, I felt a pang of sympathy for the creature. Its existence seemed tragic, a testament to the sacrifices made in the name of preservation. I realized that beneath the terrifying exterior, there was a soul burdened with duty it never asked for. With a final nod, the creature began to pace back and forth, as if struggling to contain its immense power.
"You see,"
it continued,
"the forest holds ancient secrets and mystical energies that few can comprehend. It is a delicate balance, easily disrupted by those who seek to exploit it for personal gain."
As the Guardian spoke, images of destruction and greed flashed through my mind, reminding me of the countless times nature had been ravaged in the name of progress. I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of remorse for humanity's transgressions.
"I was chosen to be the protector, the embodiment of the forest's fury when threatened,"
the creature explained.
"But with each passing century, the burden grew heavier. The anger, fear, and pain of the forest found their way into my very being, warping and twisting me into this monstrous form you see now."
The Guardian paused, its voice filled with both longing and regret.
"I am forever caught between two worlds, the human I once was and the monster I have become. I am the price paid for the preservation of this sacred realm."
I gazed at the creature with newfound understanding, realizing that its fearsome appearance was a testament to the sacrifices it had made. It was a reminder that the preservation of nature often demanded a heavy toll, one that the Guardian had paid with his own humanity. With a final sigh, the creature turned and disappeared into the darkness of the forest, leaving me standing there, contemplating the encounter. From that day forward, I understood that the monster in the woods was not a mindless beast, but a guardian driven by a higher purpose. Now, whenever I venture into the forest, I do so with caution and respect. I tread lightly, aware of the silent presence that watches over the trees, the guardian forever trapped between two worlds, forever burdened with the responsibility of protecting the fragile balance of nature. In the whispers of the wind and the rustle of leaves, I hear its sorrowful growl, a constant reminder that the preservation of the forest demands more than we can ever truly comprehend. I walked deeper into the heart of the forest, the dense foliage closing in around me like an ominous shroud. The air grew thick with a sense of impending doom, and an overwhelming silence descended, suffocating any hint of sound. The weight of darkness pressed upon me, gnawing at my sanity. Every step I took felt like a venture into the unknown, a descent into a realm where nightmares are born. The forest whispered its secrets, the rustling leaves and creaking branches forming a sinister symphony. I could almost hear the laughter of unseen creatures taunting me, drawing me further into their web of terror. My heart raced as the shadows deepened, transforming the once familiar trees into menacing specters. Their branches contorted like skeletal hands, reaching out to snatch at my soul. The very ground beneath my feet seemed to pulsate with a malevolent energy, as if it were alive and hungry. And then I saw them. Glowing eyes flickered in the darkness, watching my every move. The creatures were cunning, elusive, masters of deception. They blended seamlessly with the surrounding environment, their forms obscured by the twisted vegetation. I strained my senses, trying to pierce through the veil of concealment, but they were like phantoms always just beyond reach. The forest exhaled a chilling breath, and the creatures emerged from their hiding places. Their grotesque bodies slithered through the undergrowth, their limbs contorting in ways that defied nature. Their skin, mottled and decayed, hung loosely from their skeletal frames. The stench of decay engulfed the air, nauseating and putrid. Their eyes, burning with a ravenous hunger, locked onto me. They moved with a supernatural swiftness, closing the distance between us in an instant. I tried to scream, but my voice failed me, trapped in my constricted throat. I was paralyzed, a mere spectator in my own nightmare. As they drew closer, I could see their fangs, long and serrated, dripping with the toxic venom. Their claws, sharp as daggers, glinted with an insidious promise of pain. Their guttural growls filled my ears, reverberating through my bones, a chilling reminder of my impending doom. In a desperate attempt to escape, I ran, stumbling over gnarled roots and hidden obstacles. The forest seemed to conspire against me, its very essence pulsating with malevolence. The trees reached out, their branches grabbing at me, tearing at my flesh. Vines snaked around my ankles, tightening like vices, threatening to drag me down into the abyss. But I fought on, fueled by a primal instinct for survival. I tore myself free from the clutches of the forest, bloodied and battered, my body a canvas of agony. Yet I knew I couldn't stop. I had to keep running to find a way out of this nightmare. Just as despair threatened to consume me, a ray of hope appeared. A faint glimmer of light pierced through the darkness, drawing me towards its salvation. I stumbled towards it, my energy waning, my body aching. The light grew stronger, illuminating a path through the labyrinth of terror. As I broke free from the suffocating embrace of the forest, I turned to look back one final time. The creatures, now vanquished, retreated into the depths of the woods, consumed by the darkness they had once commanded. The forest sighed with relief, its haunting presence replaced by a sense of eerie calm. I emerged from the forest, forever changed by the horrors I had witnessed. The scars, both physical and emotional, serve as a constant reminder of the unfathomable terrors that dwell in the heart of nature. The memory of those creatures, with their malevolent eyes and grotesque forms, will forever haunt my dreams, a chilling testament to the depths of darkness that can be found within the most innocent of places. It was a moonless night when fate led me to stumble upon the ancient and sinister woods. The air hung heavy with an ominous silence, and the dense foliage seemed to close in around me, suffocating my senses. A palpable sense of unease settled upon my soul, warning me of the unspeakable horrors that awaited in the heart of the forest. With trembling steps, I ventured deeper into the foreboding thicket, my senses keenly attuned to the eerie whispers that permeated the air. The distant sounds of rustling leaves and faint growls teased my ears, filling me with a primal fear that reverberated through my very bones. Yet, an irresistible curiosity propelled me forward, drawing me deeper into the abyss. The trees, their branches gnarled and twisted, seemed to writhe in unnatural patterns, as if they possessed a sinister sentience. Their skeletal limbs reached out with claw-like appendages, their touch sending shivers down my spine. It was as if the very essence of the forest rejected my presence, warning me to turn back before it was too late. But I pressed on, driven by an insatiable desire to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within the heart of darkness. The path ahead grew darker still, the moon and stars obscured by an impenetrable canopy of thick, suffocating foliage. Only slivers of ethereal moonlight managed to pierce through, casting eerie shadows that danced along the forest floor. The ground beneath my feet became treacherous, covered in a carpet of decaying leaves and tangled roots that seemed to claw at my ankles with each step. And each snap of a twig echoed through the silence, reverberating like a death knell in the night. I was a mere trespasser in a realm where mortals were never meant to wander. And then, in the distance, I saw a faint flickering light. It beckoned to me like a moth to a flame, drawing me closer despite the trepidation gnawing at my core. Pushing aside the thick undergrowth with trembling hands, I emerged into a small clearing illuminated by the flickering glow of bonfires. Little did I know that what awaited me within that clearing would shatter my sanity forever. My breath caught in my throat as my eyes beheld a sight that defied all reason and plunged me into the depths of terror. In the center of the clearing stood a tribe of grotesque creatures, part human, part beast. Their twisted and contorted forms were a grotesque fusion of flesh and fur, their bodies contorted in ways that defied the laws of nature. The stench of decay and malevolence hung heavy in the air, suffusing every breath I took. Their eyes, glowing like embers in the night, fixated upon me with a hunger that sent shivers down my spine. Their twisted mouths curled into sinister grins, revealing rows of sharp, jagged teeth. I could feel their predatory gaze penetrate my very soul, as if they could taste my fear. The grotesque beings began to move with an unnatural agility, their bodies writhing and contorting with grotesque fluidity. Their guttural chants echoed through the forest, a haunting melody that seemed to awaken long-forgotten nightmares. Shadows danced around them, elongating and distorting with each macabre step. With mounting horror, I realized I had stumbled upon a ritual of unspeakable darkness. The tribe's leader, a towering monstrosity with elongated limbs and glowing red eyes, raised its arms toward the sky. The earth beneath my feet trembled as the very fabric of reality seemed to waver. And then, with a blood-curdling shriek that pierced the night, the leader plunged its clawed hand into the chest of a terrified captive. A sickening crack resonated through the clearing as its claws tore through flesh and bone, extracting a pulsating, throbbing heart. The air grew heavy with the scent of fresh blood, mingling with the cacophony of screams and the tribe's jubilant cries. Paralyzed with fear, I watched as the leader devoured the heart, its grotesque visage twisting into a ravenous smile. The others followed suit, tearing into their own victims with a frenzy that bordered on madness. The forest reverberated with the sounds of savage feasting, mingling with the anguished cries of those condemned to a fate worse than death. As I stood frozen, the realization dawned upon me that I had intruded upon a tribe of insatiable monsters, a breed of creatures that existed beyond the realms of humanity and morality. I had glimpsed into the abyss of their existence, witnessing the primal darkness that lurked within their twisted souls. Overwhelmed by terror and revulsion, I summoned every ounce of strength within me and turned to flee. The haunting echoes of their guttural chants pursued me as if the very darkness itself hungered for my soul. I ran through the labyrinthine woods, branches tearing at my skin, my breath coming in ragged gasps. The relentless pursuit of the monstrous tribe seemed to defy all logic and reason, as if they possessed an otherworldly ability to traverse the forest with supernatural speed. But by some miracle, I managed to elude their clutches and emerged from the cursed forest, my body drenched in sweat, my heart pounding in my chest. I collapsed onto the cold ground at the forest's edge, gasping for breath, grateful for my escape. Yet even as I lay there, the horrors I had witnessed continued to haunt my every waking moment. The memory of the primitive half-human, half-monster tribe in the heart of the haunted forest lingered in my nightmares, a constant reminder of the lurking darkness that can encroach upon our reality. To this day, I carry the burden of that horrifying encounter. The images of the tribe's twisted forms and their insatiable hunger for human hearts seared into my mind, etching scars upon my sanity that will never fade. I know now that there are realms beyond our comprehension, where ancient evils lie dormant, waiting for the opportune moment to rise and consume. So heed my warning. Do not venture into the depths of forbidden forests, where the boundaries between our world and the unknown blur. For the half-human, half-monster tribe I encountered serves as a chilling reminder that some secrets are better left undisturbed, and some nightmares are never meant to be witnessed by mortal eyes. Are you prepared to embark on a haunting journey delving into the depths of nightmare memoirs? Will you dare to uncover the chilling secrets that lurk in the shadows? Join us and become a fearless seeker of all things spooky. Subscribe and like if you dare to traverse the shadowy depths with us.